Today's passage to read is the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verses 21 to 32. And it was night. Who can fail to be moved by that poignant statement as Judas left to betray Jesus to the authorities? The darkness gathers around Jesus. Not just the end of the daylight, the worst kind of darkness: evil, hatred, revenge, cruelty, violence. We know how the story ends, or perhaps we should say, we know the new beginning it leads to when the light comes back. But this week, today, we focus on what Jesus went through as that darkness grew more and more around him. Each Holy Week, we relive the story at the heart of our salvation and at the heart of human experience. Jesus plumbed the depths of human suffering, going through dark nights with all who do that, submitting to it, accepting all that it brought him. And that led up to the cry of utter desolation on the cross: "Why have you forsaken me?" A cry of despair, of abandonment without hope. All his life, all his ministry so far, he has held back the powers of darkness. His word of command cast out evil, put fear into demons, controlled the chaos of the waters, brought wholeness and peace to people, banished temptation. Now it's as if he lets go, steps back. He allows the darkness to approach and to do its worst. And through it all, he goes on loving. He is not caught up in hatred or revenge. He does not retaliate. He doesn't even protect himself. Evil rages around him, but it cannot change him. As the soldiers caused him great pain by driving the nails in, he prayed for God to forgive them. Even when his own sense of intimacy with God the Father is gone, he remains true. That cry of desolation is a quotation from Psalm 22, and Jesus would have known the whole psalm by heart. He goes on to remember the great deeds of God in the past, the acts of salvation, and despite the horrors of the present situation, for the psalmist and for Jesus, it leads to an expression of trust. You have answered me. I will tell of your name. I will praise you. The darkness threw its worst at Jesus. He was killed. He died and was buried. Perhaps it was because his love continued unabated, because the powers of evil could not touch his soul, his spirit. Perhaps that was how he was able to break the power of death itself and rise again. I don't know. But what our faith tells us, gloriously, is that he did rise. He did defeat evil decisively, once for all. And that gives us our freedom too. Whatever the darkness throws at us, the light still shines. John began his gospel with that wonderful prologue, written in retrospect in the light of the whole Jesus event. And he said, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." For John, the moment of crucifixion is a moment of glory, the glory of the Father seen in the love of the Son, who by the power of the Spirit was raised to new life. I pray that this Easter you will know that light breaking into your own life, scattering the darkness, bringing you the light of his love, and that you will know the eternal life of his presence in your heart.